Good morning ladies and gentlemen. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. This is the name of Telegram channel, GKToday YouTube. Now we have started a new channel, Civils Academy. So if you find it relevant, you can subscribe to it. Now let's start. So the first question is, what is the name of video blogging contest associated with International Yoga Day that was announced recently? So it was announced by the Prime Minister of India, and the name of this blogging contest is My Life, My Yoga, or it is also known as Jeevan Yoga. So through this contest, people can show that how yoga has transformed their life, and for this initiative, ICCR and Ayush Ministry are going to collaborate. Now every year on 21st of June, International Yoga Day is celebrated. ICCR was founded in 1950 by Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, and he was the first education minister of independent India. Next question is, which company has partnered with the Trivandrum-based SCTIM-ST Institute for commercial production of COVID-19 kits? So for this purpose, Tata Group has partnered with Sri Chitra Tirunal Institute for Medical Sciences and Technology, that is SCTIM-ST. So these two organizations decided to partner for the production of COVID-19 testing kit, and these kits are going to be based on reverse transcriptase, that is RT-LAMP. LAMP stands for loop mediated amplification technology. Now I have already explained the difference between ELISA testing and RT-PCR testing in the newspaper analysis video, so you can check that. Now apart from these two, recently Tata Sons had partnered with CSIR to produce CRISPR based COVID-19 test kit. Next question is, which file sharing website has been ordered to be blocked by Department of Telecom? So recently Telecom Department issued an order, and it directed all the ISPs, that is Internet Service Providers, to block the file sharing website WeTransfer due to security reasons. Now WeTransfer is an internet-based computer file transfer platform, and it is headquartered in Amsterdam in Netherlands. Next question is, Ashwin Bhatia has been appointed as the new MD of which Indian public sector bank? So Ashwin Bhatia has been appointed as the next MD of State Bank of India, and recently BBB, that is Banks Board Bureau, recommended this appointment. Apart from this, recently Matam Venkat Rao has been appointed as the MD and CEO of Central Bank of India. On the other hand, PP Sengupta has been appointed as the MD and CEO of Indian Overseas Bank. In addition to these appointments, recently Pradeep Kumar has been appointed as the new secretary in Ministry of Steel, and recently Dilip Oman was appointed as the president of Indian Steel Association. And in the context of steel, there was Mission Purvodaya, and for this Mission Purvodaya, India and Japan are going to collaborate. Next question is, which is the first private space company to send astronauts in space? So it is SpaceX, and it is California-based American space company, and it became the first private space company to send astronauts, and this company is owned by Elon Musk. Now recently it was in news as the Crew Dragon spacecraft of SpaceX carried two astronauts of NASA, and these two are Doug Hurley and Bob Beacon. So these two astronauts were sent to ISS, that is International Space Station, with the help of the spacecraft of SpaceX. Next question is, which venue was originally scheduled for the 47th G7 summit that has been postponed? So US was the host of G7 summit this year, and Camp David was the designated host. Now this has been postponed. It is important to note that G7 countries are Canada, USA, Germany, France, UK, Italy, and Japan. Previously it was G8, however, due to Crimea issue, Russia was ousted from this grouping, and therefore it became G7. Now Russia was also in news because of Pakda, and this is a stealth bomber. This is Russia's first stealth bomber. Now USA was also in news due to multiple issues. USA was in news because of Taiwan issue, it was in news because of special status of Hong Kong, and recently USA was also in news because of a proposal of a bill to declare Tibet as independent nation. USA was also in news because of THAAD. Answer in comment box what is THAAD, because recently China objected to the THAAD which has been installed by USA in South Korea. USA was also in news as recently it passed a bill to impose sanctions on those Chinese authorities which are responsible for the human rights violation of Uyghur Muslims. USA was also in news as recently it decided to quit WHO. It also decided to leave Open Skies Treaty. Next question is, who has been nominated by BCCI, that is Board of Control for Cricket in India, for Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award? So Rohit Sharma has been nominated by BCCI for Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award, and apart from Rohit Sharma, Ishant Sharma, Shikhar Dhawan and Dipti Yadav were recommended for Arjun Award. Now, in addition to Rohit Sharma, recently Virat Kohli was also in news as recently Forbes released a list of highest paid athletes, and as per this list, Virat Kohli is the only Indian athlete in this list of top 100 highest paid athletes. This list was topped by Roger Federer. Recently, Forbes was also in news as it dropped Kylie Jenner from the list of billionaires. Answer in comment box, C is associated to which field? Next question is, Bobby Mauro, who passed away recently, was associated with which field? So, Bobby Mauro was a veteran athlete from USA and he passed away recently, so he was associated to sports. Next question is, what is the name of the program launched by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology in collaboration with Intel India? So the name of this initiative is Responsible AI for Youth, that is Responsible Artificial Intelligence for Youth, and this has been launched by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology in association with Intel India and with MHRD, that is Ministry of Human Resource Development. So this will provide a platform to the students so that they can get to know about new generation technology. In addition to that, a dedicated portal was also launched for artificial intelligence, and for this portal, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology partnered with NASSCOM. Now recently, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology was also in news as Umang will now provide the weather forecast services, and for this purpose, Umang app and IMD are going to collaborate. So Umang app is an app by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, and IMD, that is India Meteorological Department, is under Ministry of Earth Sciences, and it is responsible for the weather forecasting. Now recently it was in news because of the cyclone Amphan. The name of the cyclone was given by Thailand. Recently one more cyclone was in news, and the name of this cyclone is Nisarg. So this Amphan was on the eastern side of India and this Nisarg is on the western coast, and the name of this cyclone is given by Bangladesh. Next question is, what is the theme of World Milk Day 2020? So every year on the 1st of June, World Milk Day is celebrated, and the theme of this year was 20th anniversary of World Milk Day. Now answer in comment box on which day in our country National Milk Day is celebrated, and this National Milk Day is celebrated on the birth anniversary of Vergis Kurian. He is considered as the father of White Revolution in our country. Next question is, in which scheme 3 states, Odisha, Sikkim and Mizoram, have joined to bring the total number of implementing states to 20? So recently, One Nation, One Card scheme was in news. Now this scheme will allow the portability of ration card. That means if your ration card is of one state, you can still get the benefits of the same ration card in another state. So this will ensure the portability, and this will help the poor and migrant people to get the food benefits under NFSA, that is National Food Security Act. Now this One Nation, One Ration Card is an initiative of Ministry of Consumer Affairs. Next question is, on which day the Global Parents Day is celebrated by United Nations? So it is celebrated on 1st of June, and this is celebrated to honor the parents. Now 2nd of June is celebrated as the Telangana Formation Day. Next question is, which consumer electronics company has partnered with Indian startup incubator T-Hub to support startup ecosystem in our country. So for this purpose, Oppo has partnered with T-Hub to support the startup ecosystem. Now Oppo is a Chinese mobile communication company. Now China was also in news because of Tiananmen Square, because for the first time in 30 years, Hong Kong is not going to organize a mass protest commemorating that Tiananmen Square massacre. So this Tiananmen Square massacre is associated to China, and the protests were ruthlessly suppressed by China in 1989, and these were pro-democracy protests, and this is known as Tiananmen Square massacre. Now China was also in news as recently it won FIDE chess.com online Nations Cup. China was also in news as it is the biggest manufacturer of PPE, that is personal protective equipment. India is the second biggest manufacturer. Next question is, India's largest energy exchange IEX, that is Indian Energy Exchange, was launched, and it launched its RTM platform. Now the question is, what does RTM stands for? So RTM stands for Real Time Electricity Market. So this IEX is Indian Energy Exchange. So this is central largest electronic system, and this is a platform for power trading, and this is regulated by CERC, that is Central Electricity Regulatory Commission. So this platform will enable the real-time electricity market. So like stock exchange, we have energy exchange, and here energy can be traded. Now similar to IEX, we have PXIL, that is Power Exchange of India Limited. So this is also a energy exchange platform. So right now we have two power exchanges in our country. One is IEX, another one is PXIL. So these are similar to stock exchanges, but in case of stock exchange, stocks are traded, while in case of these power exchanges or energy exchanges, the energy is being traded. In simplest term, energy is auctioned. Next question is, which state or union territory is set to produce the high quality Australian merino sheep wool indigenously? So right answer is Uttarakhand. So Uttarakhand is going to do so. Now this merino sheep wool is in high demand because it is softer than regular wool, and this is grown by the merino sheep that graze on the highlands of Australia and New Zealand. Now India import a large amount of this wool every year, and this time Uttarakhand has decided to ensure the production indigenously, and therefore Uttarakhand received 250 merino sheep in the state under National Livelihood Scheme. Next question is, Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana, that is PMBGP scheme, is implemented under which union ministry? So this is implemented by the Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers, and recently this scheme was in news because it achieved the target of 100 crores rupee sale. So what is the objective of this particular scheme? The objective of this scheme is to ensure the medicines, that means quality medicines, at affordable price, and such medicines are provided through Jan Aushadhi Kendra. Next question is, what is the name of scheme that was launched in 2015 to promote the organic farming among small and marginal farmers? So the name of the scheme is Parampragat Krishi Vikas Yojana, that is Sustainable Agriculture Development Scheme, and this scheme was launched by Agricultural Ministry, and this was launched under National Mission of Sustainable Agriculture. So the scheme was launched in 2015, and the objective was to promote organic farming among small and marginal farmers. Now recently this sustainable agriculture was in news because as per Niti Aayog's estimation, India's access to 50-60 billion USD worth of carbon credit can be achieved if we follow sustainable agriculture and if we follow agroecology. Next question is, which state-owned organization has developed a multi-purpose disinfection unit named Ultra Swatch? So this has been developed by DRDO, that is Defense Research and Development Organization, and DRDO is under MOD, that is Ministry of Defense. So this Ultra Swatch has been developed by INMAS, that is Institute of Nuclear Medicine and Allied Sciences, and this is a laboratory of DRDO. So this Ultra Swatch is a disinfection unit. Next question is, what are the large group of asteroids that share the Jupiter's orbit around the Sun, commonly called as. So these are known as Trojan asteroids. And the asteroids that share the Jupiter's orbit around the Sun are known as Trojan asteroids. Usually they follow the same orbit, but they stay either 60 degrees ahead or 60 degrees behind along the orbit. Now recently this was in news because a team of astronomers found that 2019 LD2 is the first known Jupiter Trojan asteroid to have a comet-like tail. So what are Trojan asteroids? Trojan asteroids are those who share the orbit, that means who travel in the same orbit of Jupiter. So in this case we are talking about the Trojan asteroids of Jupiter. And recently this Trojan asteroid was in news because it is the first Trojan asteroid with a comet-like tail. It was found by astronomers recently. So these were the most important questions of today's quiz. Now we are going to cover important news. So if you want current affairs only in question answer format, you can skip this section. So now let's start. So first is Oxygeno. So this is a multi-purpose algae-based respirator, and recently this was developed by LPU, that is Lovely Professional University. So it is first of its kind multi-purpose algae-based respirator. Next news is related to Hurun India art list. So this art list has been topped by Anish Kapoor, and Anish Kapoor is London-based artist. Next news is related to Bhayandar station. So this station is in Maharashtra, and recently it was in news because Western Railways is going to build India's first all-steel railway, FOB. What is FOB? It is foot over bridge, and this bridge will be set up at Bhayandar railway station. So this is going to be India's first all-steel foot over bridge. Next news is related to Delhi, as recently Delhi released Delhi Corona app to track the hospital beds and ventilators for COVID-19 patients. Delhi was also in news because of Operation Shield. Next news is related to PM Cares Fund. So recently PMO, that is Prime Minister's Office, refused to provide information about PM Cares Fund through an RTI, and PMO responded that since this PM Cares Fund is not a public authority under RTI Act, therefore information cannot be provided. What is RTI? It is Right to Information. So that is why this fund was in news. Next news is related to PM Swanidhi scheme. So this scheme was started by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, and this scheme was started for street vendors to provide them loan facility. Next news is related to Haryana, as recently Haryana government decided to enforce the use of Hindi in all courts and in all tribunals, and recently this decision was challenged in Supreme Court. Next news is related to MSP, that is minimum support price. So recently CCEA, that is Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, increased the MSP for Kharif season. Now this MSP is recommended by CACP, that is Commission for Agricultural Cost and Prices, and this CACP is under Agri Ministry. So CACP recommend about this MSP, and the final decision is taken by CCEA. Now for sugarcane there is term FRP. Answer in comment box what is the full form of FRP. Next news is related to investors rating. So recently Moody's investor rating agency downgraded India's sovereign ratings from Baa2 to Baa3. So the sovereign ratings of India were downgraded by Moody's investor rating agency. Now answer in comment box what is the meaning of sovereign rating. Next is related to SEBI, that is Security and Exchange Board of India, as a panel constituted by SEBI recommended that NPO, that is non-profit organizations, can directly list on social stock exchange. So this panel was headed by Ishaq Hussain. Next news is that recently Government of India decided to launch Kisan Credit Card campaign to help dairy farmers, and as per this initiative the target is to provide Kisan credit cards to 1.5 crore dairy farmers. Now answer in comment box this Kisan credit card is an initiative of which union ministry. Next news is related to sports, as recently Sports Minister Kiran Rijiju inaugurated India Community Coach Development program. Next news is related to MSME sector. So recently Prime Minister launched Champions platform for MSME sector. That means this is a technological platform to empower MSME sector. And last news is related to DRC, that is Democratic Republic of Congo. So recently it declared the new Ebola epidemic. So these were the most important questions and events of today's video. Now homework for you people. So since PM Cares Fund was in news, your first homework is to read about the difference between Consolidated Fund of India, Contingency Fund and Public Account. And your second homework is to read about how cyclones are named. So these were the most important events. Thank you, and that's all for the day.